Hello and welcome back once again. It's time for the Golden Age of DC Comics 365 Days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. This has been surfing my coffee table ever since, a constant source of comic book shop style conversations, the kind I wish to recreate today here with you. Thank you for dropping by. What goes better with a coffee table book at the coffee table of YouTube here? Well, pull up a chair and bring a cup of your favorite whatever. I got some Guatemalan Huele Tinago. Black, no sugar. What a fresh cuppa. Thank you so much for tuning in. You are the most important ingredient to my recipe here of this show. This conversation that we're having, that we've been having all year long, and that we're going to continue to have for the rest of the year. The Golden Age of DC Comics runs between 1938 and 1955. The Silver Age between 1956 and 1970. The Bronze Age between 1970 and 1985. The Copper Age begins in 1985. I get these standards and definitions from the glossary in the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide, the most current edition. I do. I also, since I'm putting some books under your nose, I'm going to suggest these 2 books too, From Noob to Veteran. If these have flown under your radar, then stop, drop, and giggle and go get these books. Yes, we are often, as the comic book fan, looking at these magazines, these artifacts. We're the outsider looking in. But these books give us the insider's view, looking out from inside the panel, from art history, sequential art, storytelling techniques, and to other things like perspective and scale and motion. I love this book. Like, yeah, things like, you know, that are, yeah, just like, why does certain figures work as in motion than others? I love talking about comic books. And if you love talking about comic books, then you're in the right place at the right time. This is a 2004 Abrams publication, written and curated by Les Daniels, Chip Kidd, and Geoff Spear. There are links to these publications, these books, in the description to their Amazon pages. You can get your own copy of any of these. Yeah, give an old book a second chance. This is a great addition for any comic book fan. It'll look great on your coffee table. You can play along at home, and it makes a great gift for a geek. I know. We're going to use this book for its intended purpose. It's a 365 days book. We're going to open up to today's date, October the 16th. We are going to look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. You got it. Let's get to it. I hope you are clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Over and out. Cheers. I use my business cards as bookmarks. This is really cute. I like that. This is, it's October the 16th. This is Story by Gardner Fox, attributed to someone named Larry Dean. Art by Craig Flessel from Adventure Comics number 44, November of 1939. It's the Sandman. Wesley Dobbs in his gas mask, his fedora, his overcoat, and his gas gun. Gas guns were popular. They really were. And look at the binding. And like, see, in the crease of the page over here, they've transferred these pages into a spiral bound for a more permanent collection. Because these are frail things. As time goes on, these might even be, you know, high quality reprints. I mean, like, you know, photographs of existing pages put into a spiral bound to preserve them, because old paper falls apart. It does. It ages. It'll turn to dust. It'll turn back to dust, huh? All I hear are ancient proverbs, you know, like ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and so we trust, and increase my bust, you know, stuff like that. Shut up and start talking, Eric. Let me wet my whistle. Let's read. Of course, the Sandman wasn't made of sand. His name merely symbolized his abilities to put criminals to sleep with his gas gun. Yet for an artist seeking a striking image, the name provided this moment of inspiration. Coincidentally, in 1963, DC's rival Marvel Comics introduced a villain named the Sandman. Coincidentally, in 1963, DC's major rival Marvel Comics introduced a villain named the Sandman, who actually was made of sand, the result of an atomic mutation rather than an artist's flight of fancy. Superheroes apparently weren't the only ones with secret identities. The Larry Dean who signed this story really didn't exist, but was a pseudonym for a busy writer. Let's look at this one more time. It's the Sandman. Yeah, Wesley Dobbs of the Golden Age. And I'm more impressed with the Neil Gaiman Copper Age version. That is the one of the standards of comics as literature. And I just want to say once again, I just came out last month at the end of September, Sandman Act 3 as an audible audiobooks original. This has a full voice cast. This has sound effects, music cues, and a very good production quality. It's very much like the old radio plays of the Golden Age, when radio was the major medium for entertainment and news. Their episodes, their serials, their shows, and their content had casts, music, and sound effects too, simple sound effects, and it's always amazing to see how sound effects are made. I love movies, and I love the special effects. I love horror movies too. I love science fiction movies, and I love these superhero movies. So, but yeah, this is really good. So Sandman, Act 3, very, very good stuff. It's very, very pitch perfect to its source material. It's really no deviations, and it brings back these old comic books that I read a long time ago. And it's kind of a slow news week. Yeah, I mean, seriously, we come across some of these characters several times now. We've gone over their origins. We've gone over where they've gone, where they are now. Lots of them are still around today. So occasionally I like to pull just a random issue off of my spinner rack. I have a spinner rack. It's in my living room. It looks great out there with my DVDs, Blu-rays, and movie posters. And it's just, a geek lives here. Yep, you're darn tootin'. So I pulled this one. This is a Marvel comic. It's from 1993. Cover date of October of 93. So this came out the summer of 1993. I was what, 20? I was going on 21. I was 20 years old. Yeah, and I still had my foot in comics a little bit here and there. I mean, X-Men #1 was coming out as well. That was the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont stuff. I would get off of comics for a while after the Fatal Attractions. That was a crossover between all the X titles, and it had this wonderful holographic card that was built into the, you couldn't remove it without ruining it. But this was a new line. It was the 2099 line. But look at this. That's foil. This is one of those foil covers that they talk about. And it's full of ads too. This was a $1.75 cover price. Let's read the indicia. X-Men 2099, Volume 1, Number 1, October 1993, published by Marvel Comics. Terry Stewart, President. Stan Lee, Publisher. Michael Hobson, Group Vice President, Publishing. Office of Publication, 387 Park Avenue South, New York, New York, 10016. Indeed. Blah, blah, blah. The indicia. At the top, at the bottom, this is the indicia. This will give you all the particulars in the publication history of every magazine that you have. Every comic book you have has one of these. And that's where you find out its volume number, its issue number, and its cover date. And its official title as well. Then there's also always the creators page. I mean, the creator has, it's the title of the tale, and this is John Francis Moore is the writer, Ron Lim is the penciler, Adam Kubert is the inker, and Ken Lopez the letterer, Tom Smith is the colorist, and Joey Cavalieri is the editor. Tom DeFalco is the editor-in-chief. This is okay. We take the editors. They're kind of like, we have the road manager, and then we have the producer in the studio. But the rest of this 5 people here, they're like the band. So you can see like the writer is the lead singer, the artist is the lead guitarist, the inker is the rhythm guitarist, the letterer is the drummer, and the colorist is the bassist. Yeah, we can have a keyboard in there. Yeah, you can have sax. What? Come on, just stop messing with my metaphor. Or is it an allegory? Well, it would be an allegory if it was a complete story. It's a metaphor when it's in a sentence. This is a metaphor. So, every comic book is kind of like a band. You can have as many as 1 or 2 people in a band. You have solo people, and you also have like 2-member, the Black Keys, the White Stripes. You have trios. I love rock trios. You have a writer, an artist who also inks their own stuff, but someone's got to color it and letter it. That's a lot of work, And, but yeah, so this is just, and I just love, this is great art too. I mean, great sequential art, great dynamic storytelling, great faces. There's a lot of talking in this too. I mean, modern comics get a lot of grief for being like too talky, but there's a lot of word bubbles in here. There's a lot of dialogue going on. Look at this. Oh, I had a Sega Genesis. I played this game. I rented this a lot from Blockbuster, that game. Yeah, I was just about to leave home. I was just, I was getting old enough that by 22 or 23, I'd kind of moved in with my girlfriend at the time. Definitely by the time I'm 24. And, yeah. Let's see. Look at this. East Coast Comics here. 1040 Adeline Street, Trenton, New Jersey. And this was the ancient internet. And look at this. This is a list. And you would call them, or you would send them a letter with money, and they would mail them back to you. And that's ancient internet. So yeah, this was a company-wide new imprint, 2099. Everything was set in the future. And so in the center of this issue 1, and in all of the other issues number 1, they have a 2-page teaser for every title. So this is Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara. Really great design on that Spider-Man costume. There's Ravage 2099. He's a new character. There's Doctor Doom 2099. X-Men 2099, beautiful, huge splash page by Ron Lim. Great Marvel artist. So you got this really awesome 2-pager, teaser. For the X-Men 2099, we have here Punisher 2099 and Hulk 2099. And then we return to our regular story. But here you go. Here's how it works. Mail, name of your comic book store. You get a free behind-the-scenes sketchbook if you mail this stuff in. That's great. Yep, and just back in the days when there were now comic books don't have these anymore. You don't need this. You have the internet for this. All right, look at that. Just where to buy comics. Who's this from? This is from Comic Supplies. Was Entertainment This Month. Box 470 in Gainesville, Virginia. And there's a phone number too. Yeah, this is someone's huge collection, and they're going to sell you the back issues that you missed. I love those old check boxes of the books that you may have missed, or, you know, this week's. See that? I love those. Yeah. Look, Zit Fighters from Outer Space. It's Stridex. Who's buying these magazines? Well, go figure. Kids who need humans that need zit protection to dry up their zits. Oh, and we're gonna end it with football cards here. Yeah, Sterling Sharp. Wow, look at that. He's a jerk. I am a Patriots fan. I can say that. Sorry, Mr. Sharp. Yeah, I know. Call the Air Force. We find, you know, yeah. We heard you the first time, buddy. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We talk about comic books every day. We're going to be talking about comic books every day for the rest of the year. We are. Join us. You're the best part of this. We're having this ongoing conversation. It's so great hearing from you. And just to let you know, too, that this $1.75 cover price in 1993, that's almost 30 years ago, has the same buying power as of September 2022, would be $3.56. When the average price of a comic book these days is about, I think, $4.99. It might be I think it's definitely $3.99. So this is like pretty much comparatively priced to today's comic books. I just thought that worth mentioning. Yeah. And so thank you so much for coming by. Like and subscribe. We make daily content here. We talk about comic books every day. We're talking about horror movies every day during the month of October. We're doing the 31 days of Halloween here. Join us. If you love movies, you like horror movies, we've been talking about horror movies all month long leading up to Halloween. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Namaste. Good luck. We will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Bye-bye.